Hey everyone. All right. So today we're doing our day 3 of our workshop after party. And let's see who we got going on today. We got Princess Cake, we got Melissa. Today's a good Monday. We got Luster, we got Jaleisha. Hey y'all. Are y'all part of Smoking Hot Books or are y'all checking out just Substack Lives? I'm just so curious to see what you're here for. So yeah. Um Today is day 3 of our workshop after party. And what does that mean? So for y'all who haven't been following along, maybe you have, we have been doing a workshop all last week. Hey, Veronica. We did a workshop all last week about how to launch or relaunch your book so that you can sell possibly thousands of copies for your business, and impact more people with your words. And we have we have today and tomorrow left of our workshop after party, and it's always good to just keep the energy going and to just kind of like share what's coming up for people and coming up for y'all when it comes to what it feels like to feel successful and why we can't feel successful, why we're always kind of like looking for like the strategy, why we're always looking for like that one thing that's going to help us finally break through and make a difference. Um and if you guys have had any thoughts or comments about that, and of course I'm like hunching over because I don't have my phone stand today, so we're doing this kind of the old-fashioned way. Don't want to hunch over because I don't like hunching over. Okay, that's better. Um, and I want to talk a little bit today about success. Because I hear a lot of people, they come into Smoking Hot Books and they see that I sold 10,000 copies of a self-published book. And, many people who have either published books in the past, or maybe even if they've published with a traditional publisher in the past, the idea of selling 10,000 copies of your book sounds like, what could it sound like to you? What does it feel like to you? Does it feel like freedom? Does it feel like success? Does it feel like happiness? Does it feel like joy? Does it feel like, what would that emotion, what is that feeling that you were hoping that 10,000 copies, what is that a symbol for you, right? Because it's all a symbol, because I'm going to tell you right now that there is no place in the future, once you sell 10,000 copies, you're not going to feel the success and the joy and whatever, projection that you have associated with the 10,000 copies. You're not going to feel it. In fact, you may even be disappointed. You actually might be even more disappointed because you thought that goalpost out there. So if you can sell 10,000 copies, then I can finally attract the clients and I can finally make the $1,000,000. If you think that feeling out there, you're going to get that from selling 10,000 copies, you might even have a worse disappointment, because you're going to come down from that and you're going to realize that you were the magic this entire time. You were the the person that was meant to, hey Soli, we're doing this live. So we'll see who comes on today. But very so people are showing up on Substack Live, so I got the phone on this side. So you can just chill and hang out. Um, anyway, um, so here's the deal, right? Um, if you do not know that success is, that feeling of 10,000 copies, that feeling of 10,000 copies when you feel successful is actually a feeling that you can give to yourself right now, then I do urge you to start practicing those feelings right now. Give yourself the love and the joy and the success right now. Give yourself the feeling of elation right now. Because when you put your feelings of security, of love, of success onto some future goalpost in the future, you are actually keeping it away from you. the more you put that goal on a pedestal, if I can just sell 10,000 copies, the more you put that on a pedestal, the more you're going to keep it away from you. And that is actually the kind of person who does not belong inside Viral Author Academy. You do not need to be in Viral Author Academy. You do not need to be a one-on-one client of mine. You have put that on a pedestal, and you have now put your happiness and your joy and your inner peace on that pedestal. And I cannot give that feeling to you. No one inside Viral Author Academy can give that to you. None of my client, no one inside, no publisher can give that to you. Only you can give that to yourself. All right. And that's where it comes down to the choice that you get to make about whether or not you want to decide that success is something you get to embody right now. You know how, because I've been thinking about this for a while, because I see it all the time, because I'm of the age where a lot of my friends are getting pregnant and having babies, and they put the baby on this pedestal, and they say, once I can have this baby, I will feel so much peace and joy and love in my life, because no one else in my life really loved me the way that I know that this baby is going to, or whatever it is. And because of that, they end up going through all this, like fear and pain, and they end up a lot of the time struggling to get pregnant, actually, because they've actually put it on this pedestal. And it's the exact same thing when it comes to success with your book, success in your business, success in finding love. You put that so far up there that there's such an energy difference between you and that thing that you are not lined up for it. And so the person that is going to sell 10,000 copies of their book is the same person who knows that 10,000 copies is no big deal. That 10,000 copies is something that they've already embodied. 10,000 copies is something that they are already a vibrational match for. 10,000 copies is something that says, I already knew it was going to happen. I already knew that I was going to be successful, because I am success, because I am wealth, because I am joy, because I am abundance. So for anyone watching this who has been following along, either in the newsletter, either maybe this is the first time you've ever shown up on Substack Live, maybe even following on the workshop, and you're thinking, wow, success, 10,000 copies would be a dream for me. You're not ready to sell 10,000 copies. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not ready. So whatever you need to do between now and, I don't know, between now and some nebulous date in the future where you think that you're finally ready to be ready, you need to practice the feelings of success. You need to practice the feelings of abundance now. You need to become a vibrational match for 10,000 copies. All right. And here's the other thing too, is that I see a lot of people who say, oh, if I can just sell 10,000 copies, that'd be really great too, because then I can get some passive income. Then I can then I can sell my book. Then I can make money from that book. Maybe I can, they see that Renee made 6 figures from her book. So I'm like, wow, maybe I can make 6 figures from my book too. And if that's the case, then I can sell people into my programs. And then they can finally, give me a retainer for my coaching business. And they can finally hire me, and I can finally do X, 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 and Y, right? And let's just be real here, that you are in business for yourself. When you are always saying, well, it's about me, and it's about my business, and it's about my book, and me, you are also not ready to sell 10,000 copies. All right. You are not ready to have success. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You are not ready. So between now and when, like we said, that nebulous date in the future where you'll finally feel ready, which, by the way, no amount of waiting is ever going to make you feel brave. There's this awesome song by the Crane Wives. And it's a beautiful song. And it talks about how, when she was a kid, she would watch the other kids climb the trees, and she would look and be like, maybe one day I'll be brave. Maybe one day I'll be brave. Maybe. And that day never came. And she was writing a song about looking back on that and thinking, shoot, that day never actually came when I would finally feel brave in the future. So no amount of waiting is going to make you feel brave. Between now and in some nebulous time in the future where you can practice feeling like business is not for you anymore, then you'll finally embody marketing. Then you'll finally embody 10,000 copies. Then you'll finally embody what it feels like to sell something at $10,000 and not even break a sweat, because it's not about you. It's not about you and your retainer. It's not about you and selling 10,000 copies. It's not about you and making money. It's about them. It's about the other person. You need to be obsessed with them. Why are they still struggling? Why are they not signing up with you? Why are they still in their fear? Why are they still trapped in their own procrastination and fear and doubt and shame? That's the question you need to answer. And when you get obsessed with that question long enough, that's when you're a vibrational match for 10,000 copies. That's when you are an embodiment of someone else, when you can see someone else and you're obsessed with them. So I ask people sometimes, why do you want to sell 10,000 copies? Why are you in this workshop? Why are you watching this Substack Live? Why are you on this newsletter? You see like Substack Live, whatever. You follow people on Substack hoping so you can also have the dream that other people are talking about and writing about. Why do you want to sell 10,000 copies? And some people will say so that they can hire me, so that they can pay me money, so that they can buy my book, so that I'll finally feel successful, so I'll finally feel validated, so I'll finally feel chosen, so I can finally feel calm and peace in my life, because that means I can have the money and I can finally feel success, whatever it is, right? It's when you're saying that, it's so self-obsessive. And to be honest, no one is exempt from this, by the way. We all come from this place. We usually start our businesses and we think that, I want to be in business for myself. And, if I can start my business, then one day I'll have financial freedom, blah, 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 blah. Until you realize you make this shift that business is not about you at all. It's the 180 degrees of that. It is the exact opposite of that. It is the someone else on the other side so that you can help them transform, so that you can help them get out of their self-doubt, so that you can get them certainty, the same certainty that you have. When you focus on the money, like there's this, I think there was a study from like Delta Airlines. They did this this study when they tried to focus on improving the bottom line and try to improve their profitability and the money, their profits declined. But when they focused on customer service, when they focused on the customer, when they improved the experience and the transformation and the experience of the flight and the journey and the meals and what it felt like to be a part of the Delta Airlines experience, well, now you guys know that Delta Airlines is a brand now. It's not just any other airline. I mean, it doesn't even hold like United, American, and Southwest. They wish they were a brand like Delta. Delta gets to command these higher prices because they're a brand, because they emphasized customer experience. And then that's when money started coming through. So stop worrying about the money. Stop thinking about the money. Stop thinking about when you're going to get paid. Stop thinking about how your book is going to lead to more business, and start thinking about why your clients are not signing up with you. Start thinking about why they still are in their mire and shame and doubt, and they don't see your world. All they see is their fear. All they see is what if something goes wrong. You're the one that holds them by the hand and takes them through the journey. It's no longer about you anymore. It's about someone else. And that's why marketing at Smokin' Hot Books is not about you. It's not. So here's the thing. So people get confused. Like, if I get a marketing avatar, I'm familiar with the concept of a marketing avatar, but how does that relate to my book? And, in fact, when I think about writing my book, in fact, it seems like the book is not the same person who would buy a high ticket product from me. And it's like, did you actually know your customer? If you're saying that, because by the way, I'm in this sales coaching program called the Sales Girls, and it's a high-level sales boot camp. I paid $20,000 to be in it, and the next level is $100K to be in their mastermind. My friend Amanda, she signed up for that $100K mastermind. And she knew that there was only one way that she was going to have the certainty to make that decision to sign up for that mastermind. And she was going to read their book before she signed up for that mastermind. She did not listen to their podcast. She did not listen to Instagram anymore. She turned all of those things off, and she shut out all the doors and was going to read the book and get sold. She was going to have certainty that the sales goals were going to be the people that were going to take her to the next level. That's when she signed up for the six-figure mastermind. That is a lot of the time, a high-ticket buyer is someone who does not need any more noise. A high-ticket buyer is someone who's already made their decision and is looking to confirm if you know that you're the right decision for yourself. They want to believe that. They want to see that you believe you. They want to see that you have certainty in yourself. They want to see that you have certainty in your own process. They want to see that you have a process. They want to see that you believe in yourself. They want to see that you think that you're successful before the 10,000 copies. That's a high-ticket buyer. That's the person who's reading the book and getting that certainty and getting sold before they purchase you for six figures. So if you're thinking like, well, I want to sell high-ticket clients and I want to sell high-ticket services, but I don't think that a person who reads a book is the same person who would purchase high-ticket services, then I don't think you really do know your marketing avatar that well, actually. So I would recommend you start from square one, actually. And I would say that you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to take the whiteboard, take the eraser, and go and erase the whole damn thing because you do not know your marketing avatar. You do not know your people. You're not obsessed with their problems more than you're obsessed with your solution. You need to be more obsessed with their problems more than you need to be obsessed with your solution. Because when you're obsessed more with their problems, that's when the game starts. That's when it's game on. That's when you are the person who's interrupting their thought pattern long enough. You're getting in there and you're saying, hey, you hear all these other people who are selling the same thing, selling coaching services, selling professional services, selling consulting, but guess what? I'm here for you. And I know all the spinning thoughts that have been in your head. When you wake up at 2 a.m., I know those thoughts. I've seen them. I've interviewed people just like you. I know them. I know them intimately. And because of that, I'm using the exact same words that you're thinking in your head, and I'm going to use that in the marketing copy for the book, for the landing page, for the high-ticket services that are going to be sold to you later so that you can get more intimately served, so that you can get out of your shame, so you can get out of your doubt, so that you can actually rise up into your own certainty. I got you. That is you. You need to be that person. To be obsessed with your customers' problems more than you're obsessed with your solutions. So I recommend for you to go back to the drawing board and say, I do not, and humble yourself. And this is, by the way, this is a constant practice with me too. And say, I don't think I actually know my marketing avatar as well as I do. And I'm willing to take the eraser on the whiteboard and erase the entire thing and start from square one again, so that I can get obsessed with their problems all over again, because I care about you, because I love you, because I'm loving you more than I'm caring about myself, about my business, I want you to have an amazing customer experience. And the bottom line, the profit is a byproduct of obsessing over them and their customer experience and their needs and their desires and their wants more than you're caring so much about your bottom line. The bottom line will take care of itself. The inputs, when you can take care of the inputs, the outputs will take care of themselves. All right. So, we're at 11:22. We got an hour. Is there any questions about anything we just said? About any comments? In fact, if you're like, shut the fuck up, Renee, you can just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And we can actually talk about that. And we can verbally joust about that. So please, by all means. Um, the um the card has closed for Viral Author Academy. The card is closing for Viral Author Academy tomorrow on Tuesday until next year. What that means to you is that you will not be able to sign up for Viral Author Academy until next year. And maybe that's fine for you. Maybe that's fine. That for business owners, maybe that there is a new consideration for you. Because at the end of the year, all the money that you've made in 2025 is either documented as an expense or will be filed to be taxed on April 15th. For some people, it's March 15th. So if you are interested in having that, your income, your business income, and you're interested in having it spent so that you are ready to tell the IRS where to stick it next year, then the card is still open for Viral Author Academy. And in fact, I'm actually going to open up one more spot in the one-on-one program for you guys. If you are interested in Viral Author Academy or the one-on-one, there is still time. And it will close tomorrow at midnight. The one-on-one is not for everybody. It is only available to a very specific type of person. For one, they need to be energy clean, super clean energy. But also number two, you need to be an intermediate to advanced digital marketer. What does that mean? That if you are charging an hourly rate, if you do not have experience building landing pages, if you do not have experience writing copy, if you have not had success yet with getting a steady source of leads, if you are not familiar with content creation, whether it's on Substack, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, then you are not qualified for the one-on-one. The one-on-one is only available to those who are experienced in digital marketing. They have a steady source of leads, either organic or paid. They have experience building landing pages. They have experience writing their own copy for their own niche. You also have packages that you do not charge by the hour, but you charge by the outcome. And in that case, we're still going to be seeing if you have the right energy for the one-on-one. So if you're still looking for a place to invest the money that you've made in 2025, and you're saying, maybe I'll start next year. Maybe I'll see if I can start next year. That money that you made in 2025 is going to be taxed. So, this is a good time to park it, and you could possibly get started next year, as well. And if the price is something that is still sticky for you, if you're like, I don't know if I can afford it. For one, affordability is a story in your head, but also number two, it's the average amount of income that's spent by Americans is about 60 to 70% of your income. And I think it's also for Canadians as well. And I don't know for any other country. 60 to 70% of your income is spent every single year. And what does that mean for you? It means that money is going to be spent anyway. That money is going to be spent anyway. So instead of saying, okay, so I'm going to put this money aside so I can buy another cabinet or buy another car or buy another trinket in my life that's going to depreciate immediately, you could also instead buy the thing that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. It's going to become the thing that's going to serve you for the rest of your life, which is an inner transformation. Instead of buying more index funds with it so that you can, one day when you're retired, when you're 50 years old, maybe one day you can, in the future, enjoy your life. You can start enjoying your life now. You can start feeling the adventure of life now. You can start feeling the open world game of life right now. Some people, and I think it's worth mentioning, don't see life as an open world game because life has treated you and your past generations really crappily. And you're allowed to feel the pain of life treating you like crap. But that also means you get to rewrite your story and you get to start seeing life as an open world game. When I was working in corporate, I used to so when I was working in corporate, I had already been in several online coaching programs already, and they were already confirming to me that life is an open world game. And so I was still building my business on the side, and I was still working a corporate job. A lot of people do that. Stella does that, and show up to work, and I'm starting to make friends, and starting to check out what all this what this company was about, and make some friends and enjoy life. And I mentioned this comment, and I say, life isn't it life is a game. Life is a game. Life is fun. Life is meant to be gamified. What can I get away with? What can I get away with? Have you ever asked life, what can I get away with? If you've never asked yourself what I can get away with, you're playing more on defense more than on offense. There's merits to both. But when I said that, my coworker was absolutely shocked that I said that. She was like, "What are you talking about? Life is not a game. Life is a matter of protecting yourself. Life is about survival. Life is about what job can I get really good benefits for? I want job security. And so what she was actually saying was, how can I outsource my security to someone else or something else so that I can feel secure in myself?" I'm going to let you know right now that nothing is ever going to give you the security that you crave. Ever. So sometimes people are like, and I've talked to some people before they signed up for Viral Author Academy, and they say, I really need a guarantee. I need a guarantee from you that these results are going to be guaranteed. And I'm going to tell you that right now, that person does not need to be inside the program, because you're not going to get the results that you want. In fact, I'm going to send you over to publishing.com. Maybe they can provide you the security that you're looking for. In fact, they can't. Spoiler alert, they can't. Because nothing is going to be guaranteed in this lifetime. It's just your insecurity popping up so that you are then asking someone else, something else, someone else, publisher, coach, consultant, business, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, all these people, Alex Hormozy. You guys love Alex Hormozy. Woo. You guys are like, did you see Alex Hormozy? Did you see what he did? Did you see how he did all these things? And it makes me feel so excited. Maybe one day I can be just like him. You guys love him. I mean, he's cool and all. Alex Hormozy's not going to give you any source of security. Doing what he tells you to do is not going to give you the security that you're craving. Following what Tony Robbins does, no. So once you get to, do you think Tony Robbins every day wakes up and knows that his income is guaranteed? Do you think that Alex Hormozy wakes up every day and knows that this thing is guaranteed in his business? Spoiler alert, no. I can't even say that word. Spoiler. It's a funny word. Spoiler alert, no. Tony Robbins every single day has to get up and sell. Alex Hormozy every single day makes content to sell. Every single day. There is no guarantee about who is going to show up at his door and raise their hand and say, I'm ready to hire you. There's no guarantee. So if you're still looking for certainty, if you're still looking for a guarantee, some level of security in your life, you do not need to be in Viral Author Academy. You need to go to publishing.com. You need to go to all these other publishing coaches online or whatever, and they can charge you $20,000 to be on their podcast, and they'll guarantee you 5,000 views from people who don't need to be watching your podcast. 5,000 views, you think they're actually people who are going to actually hire you? It could be someone totally random. There was someone I was talking to who was like, I'm going to hire this agency so that they're going to guarantee that my podcast episode will be seen by these 9,000 people on the email list. That makes me feel really good. It makes me feel so secure that I can guarantee these results. He ended up getting scammed because that agency said, yeah, we'll absolutely do that. Your podcast episode is going to be viewed by 9,000 people guaranteed. And guess what happened? None of those people ended up booking a call with him. None of those people ended up hiring him because those 9,000 people, who says that those 9,000 people actually want his services? Those 9,000 people are just scraped from some random place on the internet, but they can guarantee 9,000 people are going to see his podcast. So you continuously dethrone yourself every time you seek a guarantee. You continuously push away your power. You continuously tell other people, yes, you are my source of strength and security when I need a guarantee from you. No one is going to give you that guarantee in your life. Nobody. Except yourself. You are your own source of certainty. You are your own source of knowing. And so right now, I'm going to tell you this right now. You are currently at this place of self-doubt. You're like, oh gosh, you're trying all these different things and you feel self-doubt. Self-doubt is an emotion, just like any other emotion. Self-doubt is an emotion just like anxiety, just like fear, just like love, just like joy, just like happiness. Self-doubt is an emotion. And you are currently vibrating at this low place. This place where you see these really cute girls at the bar and they go home with the guy that they think is going to give them that security, only to find out 5 years later after kids and baby, that guy was never going to give them the security that they needed inside. That's you right now. That's you. The person who is outsourcing your security to someone else, who is hoping that someone else is going to save you, a publisher is going to save you, that possibly even I will save you. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you think that anyone like me, Stella, anyone in Viral Author Academy, any of these clients, any of this community is going to be your path towards security, you do not need to be here. You do not need to be a client. You do not need to be in this community. You need to go work on your security. You need to go work on your feelings of security and practice those before you show up here again. But actually, possibly, this could be the place for you. Showing up on this live, showing up in the newsletter. Because if you want to borrow certainty, if you want to borrow security, if you want to borrow self-trust, if you want to borrow self-certainty, then you can hang out here. Because if you're on a path to knowing that you're on your way there, that it's only a matter of time before you start to embody self-trust, embody self-certainty, embody security, then you can hang out here. But if you're looking for a way for someone else to give you a guarantee, then there's no way that none of us can give you security. All right. Just going to check out. Oops. What's the comments? Okay. So no, there are no guarantees. The guarantee is you. You're the value. You're the money. You're the asset. You're the person that everyone is watching and like, wow, I just want her. I just want to be like her. I want to be like him. People are watching you all the time, by the way, and they're watching your story and they're watching your the way that you do things. And they're like, wow, I want you because you're the asset. You're the money. You're the value. Not something else outside of you. You are. You only value money because money only has value because it has you to spend it. Your house. People are like, oh, I want to like buy a house so that one day I can like fix it up and resell it. You value that house because you live in it, because you find hope in it, because you are the one who gives it emotion and meaning. That's why it has value for you. As soon as that house has no meaning, it doesn't have value for anyone anymore. You're the asset, you're the value, you're the wealth. Yeah, there was someone who was coming to me who was saying that, um, I would love to sell 10,000 copies of my book. I see myself on TEDx stages. I see my book in airport bookstores. I see it. I see it. I see it. I'm like, girl, I see it with you. If you see it, you're selling me on you. She was a prospect, but she talked herself out of it because she said, well, I can't there's no way I can guarantee that any of this will happen. I was like, oh shit. If you need a guarantee that this will happen, then no way we can't work together. So I'm going to leave you guys with a story. His name is Suraj. You guys heard me talk about Jen Sincero yesterday. And Jen Sincero, really great story about how money is actually infinite and is only limited by your thoughts. And that how you can afford things is based on you and what you decide you get to afford. I'm going to tell you the story about this man named Suraj. And, a lot of people come to me and they're like, I can't afford this. I can't afford that. I'm looking for a way to afford it. That's great. If you're looking for a way to afford it, that's great. But also people think that they're a special snowflake because they're like, well, I live in India or I live in, a place where people don't make a lot of money. This is too much for me. Or they're saying, well, I have X circumstance. I have this skin color. I have, my parents were immigrants. I have this skin. Okay, anyway. So Suraj now runs a $2 million publishing business in India. So a $2 million business would be a big deal for someone who lives in the US, but he lives in India. And so that's like an even bigger deal. And Suraj started, by the way, as a student in India. I think he was living in a slum in Mumbai. All right. And he had no money. Actually, I'm sorry. Was it a slum in Mumbai or was it a village? I'm getting it mixed up possibly with other videos I've seen on YouTube. But anyway, so Suraj is a student, so he has no money. His parents have no money. His grandparents have no money. No one in his village has any money. He lives in a place where there is technically the story that's been passed down for generation after generation after generation is we have no money. And Suraj was like, well, that's great, but I'm willing to try something new. I'm willing to play the open game of life, and I'm willing to try to see if I can make my life different. And so he sees that publishing.com is offering a way to make money with selling books. And maybe you guys would have said, I can't afford that. Maybe you guys would have said, I'm a poor student. There ain't no way I can afford that. Maybe you feel the fear and you're saying, oh my gosh, I can't afford that. And the more you feel the fear, the more the fear rules your life. The more that you feel the fear, the more the fear is the reality. The more you tell yourself you can't afford something, of course, you will just reinforce that thought over and over and over again. So Suraj said, I'm going to practice a new thought. I'm going to practice saying, what if I could afford it? What if my life is meant to be different from everyone else around me? All my parents, my family, my grandparents, everyone in my village, all the people who tell me that this is who we are. And in fact, a lot of these people have a chip on their shoulder because a lot of these people had businesses actually. And they're saying, we're a big fish in small ponds. We're hardworking, we're get by. But Suraj said, no, I believe in something different. And so he was working his job and he scraped together $1,500. Actually, no, because publishing.com at the time was $3,000. So he scraped together $3,000 because I remember buying the publishing.com program at $1,500. But before they lowered the price, it was $3,000. And Suraj was a student before me. So Suraj purchased it at $3,000. And because he had scraped together all this money, he'd been working odd jobs, and he was not doing anything else besides putting together the money so he could afford that program. And so once he was in the program, he then decided, okay, because the program, once you have the program, you then have to pay money to put your book together. You got to hire a ghostwriter, you got to hire graphic designers, you got to hire all these different people to make your book together. So it was like, oh, shoot. I didn't realize I also needed to find the money for that, but he didn't give up. He was saying, okay, so what if I could afford it? So he says, okay, so I'm going to need to continue working while I'm a student to find the money to pay for these ghostwriters, these graphic designers. And he finally does it, hoping that that book would be the thing that would help him escape India, leave this current situation that he was in. He published that book, he launched it, and it failed. It flopped. I don't know exactly how much money it made, but it didn't make that much money. And he was so disappointed. He thought, I did all these things. I scraped together all this money. And I put together all these things, and I hired ghostwriters, and I did all these things, and it still flopped. Okay. So then what? He could have said, this place is a scam. This place is not for me. This is not for people like me with this skin color who live in India. He didn't say those things. He could have. And in fact, you probably are around people all the time who do say those things, who make those excuses. You say, I'm a special snowflake, and because my parents are immigrants, because I have this, because I can't. This was not meant for me. This was a scam. This only works for white people, or whatever it is. He said, no, that's not my reality. I'm only experiencing this because I'm not experienced yet, because I need more experience, because I need to learn more. I want to try again. And so he tries again. He continues to work it was different odd jobs. In fact, I might link that YouTube video in this Substack Live, because you guys will really appreciate that. And it's the Mickelson twins interviewing Suraj, so it's from Suraj's mouth. And Suraj says, okay, great, I'm going to try again. He scrapes together all this money again, puts together, hires ghostwriters, hires a graphic designer. And still, second one flopped. So that's when a lot of people say, great, entrepreneurship is not for me. That's when they say, I'm meant to work a corporate job. I am meant to find something that's more secure. I am meant to find job security. I am meant to find something with great job benefits. That's how people get stuck, by the way. They think that my corporate life is going to make me wealthy. I'm going to finally feel fulfilled in my life. Once I can buy this house, then I can extract the value out of it, and then I can make $1 million, and then I can finally retire, and I can finally feel free enough to do the things that I really want to do. And they wait for that time when they finally feel lit. They wait for that time when they finally feel like the person they see on Instagram, like they finally feel like Alex Hormozy. When they can finally feel like Tony Robbins or Alex Hormozy or whoever else, and they're thinking, one day I'll finally feel ready enough to make the leap. That's how they get stuck. And they go to their deathbed still waiting for that time when they'll finally feel good enough to feel like Alex Hormozy. When they've extracted enough value from their house so they can finally retire and they can finally feel calm and peace in their life. They never do. My parents, by the way, learned that the hard way. And I watched them do that. And I knew that there was a different way. Getting back to Suraj. So Suraj has scraped together all this money to pay for the program, then pay for the book, then pay for the second book. None of these are working. And so he still doesn't give up. Because every single time that he published a book, he learned something. And he learned that the actual value that he was getting from this program was actually not the money. It was actually the experience he was getting. It was actually the 10th time he had skinned his knees, the 10th time that he had tried something different and new and it wasn't working, until he unlocked something that did. That was the value. He learned that becoming the kind of person that can try and never give up and still learn and fail was actually why he was actually valuable, not the money. I mean, the money is nice and all. The money comes and goes. Money comes and goes, but the thing that is eternal is you. The thing that does not ever go away. The thing that you are craving within you. The thing that you're outsourcing to. One day, if I can sell 10,000 copies, one day, if I can make $1 million, the thing that you are outsourcing, that's the thing that's within you that is eternal. And that's the thing that you're on a soul journey to uncover and realize. And so Suraj learned that when he had tried and failed, until he unlocked something. He then created a brand of books. And this came from just learning, skinning his knees, trying over and over again. Now, what did that do? He is now running a $2 million company in India. And he's running a team. By the way, that $2 million doesn't go all to him. He has costs. He has costs to run a team. He has costs to run the office that he now has to run his business. He has costs to pay to create the books. So a lot of that money, that money is not the thing that's going to help you feel the way you want to feel. Because that money is there back and forth. But the thing that is eternal is you. And one day I hope you learn that lesson. I hope one day you realize that the thing that has value is not the money. The thing that has value is you. The person who never gave up. The person who says yes to yourself. And who says yes to yourself over and over and over again. That's the thing that has value. I don't know what's going on with my monitor. So, if you are still on the fence about saying yes to yourself, about knowing when it is the right time, when I'm going to say yes to whatever. If you're like, when can I say yes to myself? The time is now. The time is now to say yes to yourself, because the first best time to say yes to yourself was 20 years ago? The second best time to say yes to yourself is now. Right? Isn't that that Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now? Because if you're in a habit of hoping and wishing and praying that someone else out there, some publisher, some coach, some consultant, some podcast agency that guarantees you a certain number of views, some marketing agency that's going to guarantee that they're going to share your thing with a guaranteed number of views, that if you're still that person, you are still outsourcing yourself. And the best time to make the decision that you are worth it, that you are the value, your brain is the one that needs to transform. Your heart is the thing that needs to transform. When you can make that decision for yourself, then it's game on, baby. Game on. And that was what Suraj did. That's what Jen Sincero did. That's what Suraj did. That's what Mickelson twins did. That's what Alex Hormozi did. You guys know the story of Alex Hormozi. You guys see him at this freaking pedestal. You're like, wow, he's so great. Whoa, whatever Alex Hormozi says, this truth is gospel. I don't give a fuck what he says. I might even say it louder. Maybe we'll start a little brawl on the internet. Hey, Alex Hormozi, come at me. I don't give a fuck. You're like, why are you looking at Alex Hormozi and thinking whatever he does is gospel and truth? It's not. You are. You're the gospel. You're the truth. Remember that. You're the hero of your own journey. And when you're constantly looking at other people and thinking, why do they have more money than I? Why do I have more success than I do? It feels like shit. And you're creating your own more shitty reality. But if you can choose yourself and say, enough's enough. Let's go. I'm ready to choose myself. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to launch my book. I'm ready to relaunch my book. I'm ready for exposure. I'm ready to finally get out of my comfort zone and choose myself and go on Substack Live or write my newsletter or be on that TEDx stage or invest in the thing that's actually going to help me be that person that actually goes on that TEDx stage, that helps me be my book get in line to be in airport bookstores, to be the person that says $10,000, pay in full, out loud on that sales call, to be that person. No, you may not. Now is the time. Now is the time to choose that person, to choose you. Stop choosing Alex Hormozi. Stop choosing Tony Robbins. Stop choosing Brooke Castillo, whatever it is. Stop choosing all these people that you look up to and think that they have it all. They have all the answers. No, they don't. They've just gotten good enough at choosing themselves over and over again. And you get to choose yourself. You get to choose to invest in yourself. And again, if you're still worried about the price, 60% of your income is the average amount of income that's spent by Americans is 60%. That means that the money is going to be spent anyway. Your money is going to be spent anyway. And you can spend it on all sorts of random shit that's actually not going to improve your life. Maybe it will improve your life for about 3 months, maybe 90 days. Maybe you'll feel that high for about 90 days. I bought a cabinet in my house and it was about $1,200. It was awesome. It's an amazing cabinet. It's beautiful. It's from India and it's white. It has these mirrors on it. It's amazing. And it gave me a high for about 90 days and that was it. Or you can invest in the thing that will keep giving to you over and over and over again. I purchased a coaching program from Kathy Heller back in 2021. And she sold me on that coaching program because she sold me on myself. And she sold me to know that $3,000, I didn't need to buy another cabinet or buy another whatever else, a bike or whatever. I need to buy myself. I need to purchase my dreams. You need to purchase your dreams. You need to purchase your ability to trust in yourself. You need to feel lit. You need to purchase your lit. You need to purchase your obsession with yourself. And by obsession with myself, I don't mean marketing, because we've already established that when you're obsessed with yourself, you are an ineffective marketer. But what I really mean is you need to be the candle. You need to be the example for your kids and for your grandkids and for every single person that's watching you, for your clients, for your prospects. Your prospects are waiting for you to choose yourself, by the way, for you to show up as your most lit self, to show up like Beyonce. You know why Beyonce had this cult of personality? It's not like she's asking you or begging you, please like me. People are obsessed with her because she's obsessed. She loves herself. She loves herself and likes herself. If you're still struggling with loving and liking yourself, you need to be in the room. You need to be inside Viral Author Academy. You need to know how to choose the path. Walk the path to get to be the person, the author, the successful author that loves and likes yourself, no matter what. When you can have that level of certainty, now you're impacting people. You want to sell 10,000 copies, you want exposure, be the person that is a light for other people. You know how when you have a crush on someone and you can't really explain why? It's because they like themselves. It's because they like themselves. They're so confident in their own skin that they have this command, they have this swagger about them. They don't care if you dislike them. You can dislike them or like them. They don't care because they like themselves. You want that. You crave that. You want to be the person that loves and likes yourself and knows that anything is possible. And if you are ready to walk that path, you need to be inside Viral Author Academy. You need to be the person that sees, that embodies the thing that you so desperately crave so that you can give that to other people and give it to yourself. We got 2 minutes. I'm about to close this up and head to Nordstrom. I hope you choose yourself this Christmas season. And I hope you choose yourself in 2025. You got about a month left. Maybe a little more than a month. If you look back on 2025 and you see yourself and you see, wow, where did I spend this year? Are you going to be happy? Some people are always like, this is my year. This is the year that I'm finally going to get my shit together. And they never do. Right? You don't want to be that person that's like, oh, this year is the thing that I get my shit together. No, the year has no value. It's a symbol for starting over again. And in January of this year, did you set goals? Did you set visions? Did you cast intentions for yourself? This is going to be the year that I'm finally going to get my shit together. Did you? Did you make it? Did you achieve? Did you allow? Did you allow yourself to feel the way that you thought you would feel at the end of this year? Do you finally feel abundant and relaxed and amazing and lit and impactful? If you have not yet felt that, you need to be inside by our Author Academy. I'm going to send out a poll. And if you're still on the fence about that, answer the poll. Whether it's a money thing, a time thing, or something else. Money, time, something else. If you're still on the fence, answer the poll. And we'll have a special chat about what this could look like for you. All right, signing off. It's 12 p.m.